So you got a movie about people, all this franchise, this Jurassic Park franchise, that people think they can be dinosaurs. Nobody can beat a dinosaur. Nobody's in the history of people. I don't think we've ever beaten a dinosaur once. So why are they like, why are we on the human side? Why can't we watch from the Jurassic Park, from the dinosaur side,
From the
attack
dinosaur
people?
perspective. I love it. We've been sleeping for millions of years. These fools woke us up to kill us. That's awesome. That's the best thing. Exactly, from the dinosaur side. Hey, man. Well, you guys, I'm stand-up comedian SterlingThrill, and I'm joined by comedian Mr. Morgan Nienaber. Give it up for Morgan. Here on this YouTube channel, we put out funny shorts daily. So if you found this channel, you probably found us on YouTube Shorts. Thanks so much for watching those. Still putting those out every day. Plus, we just started rolling out new stand-up comedy clips every single week. Make sure that you're checking out the channel because I got a new stand-up clip about the new Little Mermaid. It just dropped this weekend, so definitely check that out. About dumb people saying racist stuff about the new Little Mermaid, and I addressed it from the stage. It's a lot of fun. It's a great video. It's been my best performing YouTube video that's not a short to this point, is about the Little Mermaid, that stand-up clip. So that's cool. So that's what we have on our channel. But also on our channel is this podcast about movies from back in the day, movies from now. Movies, I think, Morgan, I think it should be like basically any movie that had ever, at some point ever, had some iteration of it on a VHS tape. And I think that's how we can tie it together, even if it was a TV show or whatever it was. Something that had some iteration of it. Anyway,
you could have watched it in the 90s.
You could have possibly watched this in the 90s, but I'm okay with it was earlier than that or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and we're talking about all the spinoffs and all the franchises and everything.
Anything like that, and that's why we are the Video Homie Stories, and I'm joined by Morgan. Give it up for Morgan again. Morgan, how are you today, man?
I'm good, man. I just watched on Amazon Prime Jurassic World Dominion, and it was outrageously bad. So,
Heck yeah, bro.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just, I think that movie tried to be 3 or 4 movies in one movie.
Oh, gosh.
It was so much, especially if you watch the first Jurassic Park. That's almost like an art film. The thing's beautiful through and through.
I bought this, oh, sorry to cut you off. I have ADHD, so we always tell relatable stories with ADHD. Every time somebody starts talking, you're like, I have a story like that, and just interrupt them, but it's not meant to be. But I bought a film school textbook from a yard sale, and a whole like good chunk of that book is dissecting Jurassic Park, the first one, and just different things that Spielberg did. I'm just saying to go.
That movie's an art film.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it's got balance, you know, and there's not like the action is there, but it's in the right place. You have to have story. This movie was like action, maybe you got story with action, and then more action.
Yeah. All right, so you're talking about Dominion?
Yeah, Dominion.
Yeah, my Dominion, bro, let me tell you something, man. You watched it on Amazon Prime, you said?
Yeah.
All right, so look, I don't know if you ever want to do this. You might have to wait a while, and I totally feel you, because I remember I watched Jurassic World Dominion, and it sucked so bad. It was so terrible. But my kid hadn't seen it yet, and it had come out on Peacock, and Peacock had the extended version. So I was like, you know what? Occasionally, if a movie sucks, but there's a director's cut, sometimes the director's cut's not as bad. And I watched the director's cut on Peacock. So, Morgan, I urge you to go watch the director's cut. Again, maybe not right now.
Peacock took it off. I couldn't find it.
Oh, it's not there anymore?
I looked for it.
It probably was when it first came out or whatever. But if you ever get a chance, watch the extended director's cut now that you've seen this one. It's perfect. It'll be a great film study. Because it, as bad as Jurassic World Dominion is, the director's cut makes it like just okay. Like it makes it enjoyable. Like you don't like. I left Jurassic World Dominion in the theaters mad. Like I was angry. I was like, it's so stupid. Why'd all the things.
I mean, I saw Jurassic Park: The Lost World, the second one.
Yeah.
And Lost World Jurassic Park. That's what it was called. But yeah, I saw that one. I remember leaving kind of disappointed. But none of them had the magic of the first movie.
Yeah.
And the closest to that is the second one, probably, and then the Lost World, like the first Lost World, because you went back to the park. And even that was still like a little over the top, but that was what we got.
No, I agree. It was a little over the top, but it was enjoyable. I think that too. I think it's like the first Jurassic Park, and then probably like Jurassic Park 4, which is Jurassic World. And then you could figure out the rest of them after that. I mean, they're all
Yeah,
kind of
pretty much. Like Jurassic World felt like the only true sequel, but the
yeah.
kid in me still likes Jurassic Park too. It's the only one where Jeff Goldblum didn't act like Jeff Goldblum. It was like
Yeah.
he's the serious guy all
He
of a
had a
sudden.
little bit of character development. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
he's
that's
like,
the other
nah,
thing, man. When you get to see that director's cut for Jurassic World Dominion, all those older characters have more character development. They have more time to develop those characters. So that's why it's a little bit better. Also, if you haven't figured already, spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen any of the Jurassic Park films.
yeah.
We're going to discuss all 6 of them in this. I haven't seen I think they have some TV shows and I haven't watched all that, like the cartoon shows, but we're pretty much going to loosely discuss that. But yeah, Jeff Goldblum, number 2. That was the only one where he didn't quite act like the scientist in every movie.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, listen, I've done this before, like he was like kind of trying, he had a little bit more seriousness to him.
Yeah, bro, dinosaurs was killing people, bro. He's like, nah, I seen this, bro. I seen this movie.
Absolutely. But I mean, every other movie, Jeff Goldblum's Jeff Goldblum. And that one, I was like, oh crap, can Jeff Goldblum be a leading man? Like,
Well, I don't know. I guess, I mean, has he been? Not really,
he was
right?
in that movie. That movie was so profitable. That was,
Well, yeah, but that was off the first one, though, right? I mean, we
Sure.
didn't have the internet
Sure.
the way we did. I mean, Jurassic World or Jurassic Park 3 wasn't that profitable, was it? Or was it? Probably did good, but
it earned its money back.
yeah.
But they could tell it needed something to revive it. The third one was directed by Joe Dante,
Yeah.
I think. And he directed Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Mm-hmm.
And he also, what else did he direct? Gremlins.
Oh, snap. The same director did Gremlins, too?
Yeah.
Tell me more about it. I'm going to check our audio real quick because I actually haven't done the live test yet.
No, you're good. But I mean, so I thought like having him come in for the third one was okay. It was, again, a different movie. That's what's tricky is like having franchises and bringing in different directors. You can't replicate somebody's vision.
Right.
You can do the best that you can. But that's about it.
Tell me more about it, Morgan.
Okay. I don't really know what else to talk about that part, but I mean, I don't know. Some parts about Jurassic World Dominion that got me pretty it was weird is okay. So they got a clone, they got a baby dinosaur,
Yeah.
they get kidnapped. So the new heroes are watching them. So we've got evil scientists, they're the bad guys
Right.
in this movie. Not dinosaurs, really. They've added in a turtleneck scientist that was in one scene in the first one.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. You're right. This is off
Like,
character.
I mean, good for him because they
Yeah.
needed somebody.
Good for the actor,
he was
right.
Probably telling people he was that guy in Jurassic Park for years, and nobody even believed him.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm Dodson. I was Dodson.
I was in that movie.
I was the guy with the shaving cream. The shaving cream
Yeah.
guy. Not the guy that got killed. Not the guy everybody remembers from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But the guy that gave him the can. You know the can guy? You know the guy that gave him the can? That was me.
That was me.
Now he gets to be like, hey, you remember how we made a knockoff Tim Cook from Apple and we put it in Jurassic World?
that
That's
guy
also
looked
me.
Just like I was like, I watched that. Go, they did not get Tim Cook, and I was like, oh wait, no, wait, Tim Cook would never do this.
I think I watched the whole movie before I realized that was the Dodson character from the first movie. Like, I think it was like I saw a recap or review of it or something. And I'm like, oh, wait, that's the guy from the first that had that one scene in the first movie.
Yeah. It was well, like there's two of them, right? Because wait, isn't it Dot? Which one's Dotson? Is Dotson the Asian guy?
Oh, I'm talking about the guy to
Talking
become
about the
Tim Cook.
Okay,
Yeah.
So well, the other guy too was just in
But
there.
he's in every Jurassic World. I mean, he wasn't in 2 or 3, but when they started Jurassic World, he's at the park of Jurassic
he
World.
came back, but
He's in Jurassic World 2, which is Fallen Kingdom, and he's
Okay.
in I'm pretty sure he's in Fallen Kingdom, and then he's in this one too.
Yeah, but even that guy, he's just as shocked as the guy that played Dobson.
Yeah, they may, but I mean, they really, for me though, it wasn't shocking to see nowadays because when they brought this franchise back in 2016, they made him a pivotal. Well, they made him they elevated his character.
Oh, they definitely did.
They elevated his
It was
character.
still, even in that first one, in the Lost World, it was shocking to see them bring him back.
Yeah, they brought him back, elevated his character. Then he had a little, gosh, I can't remember Fallen Kingdom if he had more of an arc in Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, no, he did. He had development and arc. You got to see him being like more of a guy who was at that guy's house. Fallen Kingdom was an interesting movie, I think, because it was Jurassic Park. They were trying to make it like a more of a even more of a thriller. It was advertised to be almost scary. It was a real interesting, weird movie, but it wasn't bad. But it had parts that I thought were dumb, but it was very interesting overall. And then Jurassic World Dominion, I thought absolutely sucked. It was so bad. And then director's cut of it, I think was okay.
Yeah, the director's cut of which one?
Of the last one was okay.
Yeah.
But Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was interesting. It had some good parts to it, actually. Interesting story.
Even remember Fallen Kingdom that much, except for I think there was a scene where like a dinosaur went into a kid's bedroom. But I think that's like pretty much all of them. When the dinosaurs are running the streets, the dinosaur always has to go to some kid's bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. It is very much, It's that one when they try to make like a horror movie almost. Well, it wasn't, but it was advertised kind of like it was going to be horror. But horror. Horror. How do you say that word? I can't even say it.
Horror.
Horror. It's scary. It's a horror movie. It's a horror.
It's a horror.
Horror movie. I hope somebody tunes in right now to the live cast and just two dudes. Horror.
Horror. It's a horror film.
I feel like it's like to say horror, you got to be like, I'm a better prostitute than you. Horror.
But I mean,
horror.
If your grandma ever like was like, y'all watching them horror films in there? And you're like, no, grandma, we're not watching horror films.
Horror. It's hard. That's a weird word for me to say. Horror. From the southeastern.
It reminded me of David Spade and Black Sheep, Rowads, Roads.
Oh my, dude!
Trying to say roads.
I haven't seen those Tommy Boy movies, David Spade movies in a long time.
They hold up.
Yeah, they hold up. Dude, what did you know what my family just watched? I didn't watch it with them. I was working, but they said it held up so good. Was What About Bob? You remember that movie?
It does.
Yeah.
I probably watch What About Bob maybe once a year.
I can see that. I mean, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I just introduced my kid. I'm so glad she likes it. I knew she would for years. I knew she would. I just hadn't watched it with her yet. I just introduced my 16-year-old to my cousin Vinny. She hadn't seen it yet.
That's one I got to get my girl to see. It's on our list.
Oh, bro. It's such a good movie to the point that, like, you know how they do all these franchises? I wish they would do, like, My Grandpa Vinny or My Great Uncle Vinny.
Yeah,
I would love to see him back. I mean, I know that he's actually now he's in Bupkis.
Or like My Son Vincent, where he's got a son. You know, like
yeah, it could wherever you could take the character. I mean, if you did it right, it could be good, but also they could probably just crap on the character.
Joe Pesci doesn't want to do anything that he doesn't want to do. He's doing Bupkis because he's like, okay, I already live in New York and I can do this. You know.
Well, Lauren, I heard Pete Davidson on the Tonight Show talking about. Lauren said that Pete was like trying to figure out who could play his character, and Lauren said, "What about Pesci?" And Pete Davidson was like, "What do you mean? I don't think he does that. He doesn't really act like he doesn't. He's not doing anything." Yeah. And Lauren said, "Lauren Michaels from SNL, just such a brilliant guy. He was just like, I can't do a Lauren impression. I never met him before, but I've seen him on video and stuff. He's just every actor just needs the right role. Like so that's what Pete Davidson said to him. Something like, I don't know if Joe Pesci would do it, and all." Lauren said every actor just
there was somebody else lined up to do it and they dropped out. And Pete Davidson said to like you because I was watching on him the John Barathol podcast where he's talking about that. That was pretty wild.
Yeah.
But all right, back to this.
Back to Jurassic World. Let's do like they did in every movie. Let's have a dumb reason to go back to the park. Let's go.
Right. Well, they had the clone. They captured the raptor, and then they're after that, and then so. Let's see, the old good guys realize that the science people are bad, so they're teaming up now. We have two separate movies.
Essentially A plot, B plot, right?
And then they meet in the middle, and it's nothing but explosions for the whole third act.
It's really that is the cut, the theatrical cut. They effed that up. They really did. That's the part I'm talking about. You get to see in that extra footage, the extra 40 minutes or whatever they is, 30 minutes, you get to see more story.
Yeah, they shoot a raptor right in the baby raptor in the neck. And I was like, okay, I didn't see that coming. I don't
remember that. What part was that?
They're all in the boiler room, and then that was like when the I was like, does the clone like have some sort of mutation with the reptile that she's like able to suddenly be a raptor trainer? She came out and like did the hand
Well,
thing.
that's the whole arc they were doing. They were like, Chris, what's his name? Star Lord.
Pratt.
Chris Pratt's character was like
No,
trying to
I
do that, and
know.
so he taught him. He had all of them doing it. Well, he had three people: the clone and
Sam Neill.
Sam Grant or Grant. Yeah,
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 the actor. Yeah, Alan Grant, Sam Neill.
yep.
Yeah, but then they finally did it, and they were doing the triangle effect, and
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know, weird to see Sam Neill as a raptor wrangler.
Well, I mean, in some regards, I mean, yeah, I think that's weird,
Because I mean, he was the OG raptor wrangler, but I
but he
mean,
was about
skeletons,
raptors.
you need to
Yeah,
stay away from them. Like
yeah,
that's what he was telling you all throughout the first movie. Yeah, raptors, stay away from them. Don't go near those guys. They're nuts.
yeah. One thing I thought about the Jurassic World Dominion is it happened at the end of Fallen Kingdom, and I immediately was like, wait, what? So this epic scene at the end of Fallen Kingdom where the little girl is a clone, and all the dinosaurs have been taken to this property, and they're all about to be they're all the thing's about to self explode or whatever, and all the dinosaurs are about to die, and the main characters of the movie are watching. Remember the spoilers, but they're watching all these dinosaurs and they're about to get incinerated. And there will be no more dinosaurs on the face of the earth anymore because the last species have been all brought to this one place. They're all going to be incinerated in this big, giant warehouse thing. And the little girl sees them as clones, and she is a clone, and she opens the door. She hits
Yeah,
the button, opens the door. It was an iconic thing. The dinosaurs run out and all that stuff. And I remember the end of that. I remember thinking, I was like, I don't what's the world gonna be like? There's dinosaurs out in the world in the wild. I was like, I don't
yeah.
know. And
It
this
kind
movie explored that and everything I wanted to see about how this new world exists with dinosaurs and humans existing simultaneously. They put in like a 3 second recap. Like in the beginning, there's like a minute and a half montage of BBC World News clips and stuff that are telling you the story of how dinosaurs and humans live in nowadays. And I was just, it was so hard for me to buy in because I felt like that was such a cheesy premise.
yeah.
Like the whole
Well, I
last
mean,
movie, it seems like a cheesy premise to me.
well, the ending to me, like I just kind of, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Once I kept hearing explosion, 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 I like tuned out. Was on my phone for about the third act, or just okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, we got a Sarah Connor Terminator 2 type monologue at the end, but living with dinosaurs. Okay.
Um, of fallen of the loss of Dominion of world lost world Dominion or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like the clone was given that monologue at the end, and it felt very Terminator 2,
yeah,
like, kind of. And I was like, this is weird. I was like, for a movie that I just saw, I did not expect such a peaceful outcome, or
yeah. It was.
tried to be a peaceful outcome.
I
And
like that. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm talking over you. My bad.
I was like, maybe they'll never make another one again because they gave it a happy ending finally. I don't know.
I think this cast of characters won't be with it. They'll probably make some more though. But that world is so. I hated this.
What? Yeah, in 25 years when Chris Pratt runs out of job.
Yeah. There you go. They'll bring it back. I hated so much about Jurassic World Dominion. Again, the director's cut saved it for me where it's an okay film to watch. But overall, I did not like the premise of it. I don't like the whole living with dinosaurs thing. Like, it just, that's so stupid. And then the other thing, like, I thought the subplot, like the incentive for the bad guys, was so obvious and stupid. Like, they're going to have the things destroy all the crops, and then you got to buy their seeds. So that just
Yeah.
seems like so, like,
Well, that's already happening.
that kind of stuff is happening, but that's the thing. It's like
Roundup. Yeah,
it
those.
didn't
Oh.
seem that's happening, but it seemed like lame. I don't know. It didn't seem
Well, it
like
just seemed like the wrong political. You don't put that in a movie. Anybody that knows anything about that. I mean, I guess you could, but I mean, I don't know, man. That to me, it's a frightening thing. I get it.
yeah.
But it's kind of like making the ants the bad guy in that one Indiana Jones movie. You're like, oh, we had rats, we had snakes, and now we got ants and Crystal Skull.
Dude,
Like,
I don't even. I remember watching Crystal Skull, and you text me something that was funny about, or you sent me something or whatever. And dude, I saw that with you. I think I'm pretty sure we watched that movie together. I can't tell you nothing about it. The only thing I remember from Crystal Skull is I remember thinking it was stupid, and I remember that he hid uh in the
refrigerator.
The refrigerator. That's literally it's the scene in the refrigerator. It's the revelation had something to do with aliens, and that's all I remember.
I remember the ants. I was like, I'm just being so mad because I studied that movie in film school. It's like, okay, we've got something Indiana's afraid of, kind of in every movie. This one, he hates snakes. He really does.
Yeah.
And then in The Last Crusade, he had to be covered in rats, and the girl he was with was terrified of rats. So it made it even more intense. This one was just like ants.
I hate ants. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
oh gosh, man. Yeah, I mean, there's a new movie coming. They got the new Indiana Jones. I heard the early reviews weren't good on it, but I mean, I didn't expect much because that last one sucked.
Yeah. I had a random thought. I was like, Jurassic World Dominion felt like such a stretch and far cry from the original.
Yeah.
And it was like so full of nonsense that I was like, this would be like if they made an Indiana Jones movie where Shia LaBeouf went to space and he had to go look for something on the moon, and Indiana Jones finds out that NASA's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. You're just like, it's too much. You could have just been looking for a map
just for one thing. Yeah, I think for me the crop plot line. For me, the crop plot line. It's not that it's not a real thing. That it's not. I didn't mind it being in there. I just thought they could have done it better. Like it wasn't a big reveal to me. Like it was it's an obvious. Maybe it's because I know how it works, but it's just so obvious. It was like the twist for the movie The Village. Basically, and by the way, if you're a podcast fan, if you're watching this show, just know we're going to put spoilers for anything we think about in this show. So don't watch this unless you've seen a lot of stuff.
I hope you've seen it.
Yeah, but The Village movie, I remember I was watching it with my college girlfriend, and we saw the movie, and she leaned over and said something to me the first 2-3 minutes of the movie. And I was like, and I didn't even hear what she said. Like I wasn't listening at all. I thought she said one thing. I was like, went on to eat my popcorn and watching it. 4 or 5 minutes go by, and I lean over to her, and I'm like, yo, I think this is happening now in today's time. And this is just the thing. And she's staring at me. She's like, I just said that. Like, she figured it out 2 minutes into it. It took me like 7 minutes. But the point is, you knew that plot. You knew that twist, like, real early on. Like, I think a lot of people got The Village pretty early on.
I did not.
Oh, okay. Well.
No, they got me. I was like, I don't know. I thought it was maybe set in like the 70s or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought it was kind of like old and culty. Yeah. And I was like, I don't think. But once it was super modern, I was like, oh, okay, they got me.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I had on it. That, and then the other part was So the point is, the twist. I guess for some people that twist was revealed early on. Well, this twist it didn't feel like much of a twist. Okay, that's what it is. For Jurassic World Dominion, the crops plot line was presented like a twist, like a scary, this is the thing. But to me, it didn't seem twisty. It seemed very obvious.
Yeah, that's common knowledge. We know that. They already let that happen.
That was my problem. Like, that's already happening. That's like, we know that's happening.
That's like if we're living with the Terminators already and they're our maids. We're like, we know Terminator gets me my mail.
Yeah, exactly. That's a random. You took T-800 and made him Rosie from the Jetsons. Like, I don't know, that's a stretch there. But either way, man. Which, by the way, the Jetsons, their maid was named Rosie. Like, is that Hispanic racism? Like, is that Hispanic racism? I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe it's because she was happy.
Yeah, she was Rosie. Yeah, maybe she got embarrassed and stuff. Maybe I'm just finding racism where it's not there. I don't know. I'm so pale, I have to make up for being this melanin challenged. I have to look for racism in places where it might not be. But anyway,
racism, you'll find it.
Yeah, it'll be there. The other thing I was going to talk about, how you said Jurassic World Dominion is such a stretch. Yes, I agree with you. It's a stretch. One thing I noticed, though, I never read all of Jurassic Park, the novel, but I did read a couple Michael Crichton novels, and he writes very similar to like a Dan Brown, where it's just very riveting pages, and there is pseudoscience laced throughout. So it's like what those authors and authors like that are trying to do is they're trying to make you think that this science fiction is feasible, right? And
that's where science fiction, a lot of our modern inventions come from science fiction writers.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, they think of what could happen.
Engineers look at what people write about.
Yeah, and they try to make it happen. But that's what they're trying to make it viable, right? So one thing I noticed is like Jurassic Park, the novel was so I think it might have been called Jurassic World. I don't remember the actual novel of it, but it was
The
so.
second one was called The Lost World. I read the second one. I never read the first one.
But it was so jam packed they had to use stuff from that in other movies. Like they couldn't put it all in the first movie. But the premise of a worldwide, so I didn't like Jurassic World Dominion's idea that dinosaurs are living amongst people all out in the world and stuff. I didn't like that. But I do wonder if that premise is something similar to what maybe Michael Crichton thought that the novels could go into, because that does seem in line with how he would write novels, where it's like, this thing's happening. How can this impact you, the reader? How can this impact you? You know, and so I wonder if it's like kind of maybe a direction that he could see the franchise going, but maybe the execution of it wasn't that good.
I mean, my personal belief, honestly, is that Michael Crichton just was like, okay, let me sell you my ideas, because they took a lot of principles from his book, but I read the second book. It was not the plot of the second movie.
Well, no, the second movie plot was in the second act of the first book.
Yeah.
You know, they took all that stuff, like the water scene and all that crap. That was from the second book, or that's from the second part of the first book.
Yeah. I mean, but that's kind of like you know, making 3 movies out of Lord of the Rings, one book. You
right.
know, it's like,
just stretching, squeezing that thing out.
Yeah.
They squeeze that little drop of water in the desert. We're gonna stretch it out. Yeah, man. So I don't know, man. There's some crap in this movie. The idea of the dinosaurs, like, and then they evolve. Also, I kind of have issues with just dinosaur and paleontology stuff in life anyway. Like, you know, the fact that I think there's very logical problems. There's logical fallacies and problem stuff with evolution in general, but scientists, you know, a lot of people, the money isn't talking about evolution. But I don't like. I think evolution is stupid, at least how they've told it, because the idea now is that that dinosaurs evolved into birds. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, dinosaurs are reptiles, right? And we think that somehow reptiles became flying animals, alluvial. I forgot the term for what a bird is called, alluvial something, but alluvian or something. So they're two different species. Why do we think that one became another species? And also the middle parts of that, like if an organism were to evolve over billions of years.
I'll never understand anything like that, because there's things like the raccoon dog in Japan. It's not related to a dog or a raccoon, and it looks like a giant raccoon dog. It's more closely related to a fox. Why does that thing exist? Why does a platypus exist? You know?
Yeah, these are just things. I just don't. The idea that we go from one organism to another organism, and there's no proof of this, but that's what we tell everyone. That's what we tell. I think that's ridiculous to me. It's like, versus, we can't observe billions of years of evolution in a lab, but we say it like it's true. But we can observe.
No, but you can. I mean, anytime you're watching a movie, you're watching another person's guess, hypothesis.
Sure. Yeah, I could dig that.
You know, I mean, I never really take movies with a grain of salt unless they say based on a true story. Then I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, inspired by, that's a big thing. Like, Cool Runnings.
That's how you get around it. And
yeah.
That's not fun. You
yeah.
know?
Like Cool.
I want it to be factual.
Cool Runnings is a good movie, but it was like nothing like the real story.
Absolutely.
Like,
it didn't have an egg. There was no egg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kiss the egg. Kiss the egg. Kiss my lucky egg.
Yeah, all that stuff. You know, speaking of which, we should do this. I didn't realize this because my mom loved this movie, but The Color Purple, I didn't realize that was a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
And then they have another Color Purple coming out. Like, they just remade it.
That's how hard to watch a movie.
I know. And I'm like, gosh, why would you want to like, it's classic. Just leave it there.
But I saw it. I was like, I think they might be doing it again, because they've done it as a play for years.
Oh, yeah.
Successful on Broadway and stuff. So could be that.
I got it. Is Spielberg involved? I thought, is Spielberg involved in the new one? He's
probably producing.
Something like that.
I could easily see him doing that. But
yeah.
He's not going to relive it. That's for sure.
I remember it was such a hard movie to watch. It's a great and redeeming and sweet story, but it's like hard to watch, bro.
Yeah. I didn't even rewatch West Side Story. I started to watch West Side Story, but I'm like, I've lived so much West Side Story in my life. I do not need Just sit down and watch another iteration.
I did not watch the new one yet, but it's on our to watch list. We just never got around to it. But I remember you and I. That's where I remember like meeting you, really, like getting to
Oh
know
yeah.
you at least. Was in our high school's production of West Side Story. Cool boy, real cool. I can't sing at all,
Crazy
bro.
boy.
Oh man, that show was so fun. I remember one time the director that we had in high school, he flipped two songs. He thought for the story, doing these two numbers in different order made sense for whatever reasons these reasons was. But he did. So basically, it plot spoilers for West Side Story people that never seen it. But Riff gets killed, and shortly after Riff getting killed, the Jets, you and I were Jets, and we did Officer Krupke, which is this funny sing-songy song. And I remember on one performance of Officer Krupke, we get done doing it, and I just said to someone, I was like, man, I wish Riff could have seen that. I said it on stage. And I just remember, like, I forgot who it was. They were just trying not to laugh at the moment, but that was awesome. It was a fun time, man. What was one of your favorite that you care to share? What was the West Side Story?
My favorite thing was honestly that we shot the fight sequence in downtown Conway, and then we fought like as we were coming onto the stage through the audience, and then got on stage.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. That felt like a very theater thing to do.
Yeah,
in the moment, and I mean, my better memories are from when I did Grease as Vince Fontaine. That was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, you talk about that a lot, but I wasn't around for that.
Yeah,
you
you weren't a part of that one.
Yeah, sorry, man. Can't do them all. What was a favorite Grease memory then?
Oh, I had to go up to people in the audience before the show. All the cast is backstage, and I'm in character as Vince Fontaine, and I'm taking fake requests from the audience.
There you go.
I take a fake request from this older looking gentleman in the audience, and he's like, "Yeah, I want this." I'm like, we ain't got it." And I like walked away. And it was my girlfriend's dad at the time.
Oh wow! Did you know that's who that was?
No, I met him after the show.
Oh my gosh, man, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. I love that, man. I did I remember that play was one of the first times that I think it was one of the first time I was intentionally funny on stage. You know, I had a little, not Grease, but West Side. I had a couple silly lines. I didn't have a lot of dialogue. I had a few lines in the play, and but I did the it hoits line, and it hoits. Yeah, and this little kid came up to me after one of the performances. I think maybe this might have happened a couple times, but I just remember one in particular, and she thought it was so funny. Like her parent was like, they want to tell you what they thought. Little Billy, tell her, or Sally, tell him what you thought, I thought it was really sweet, man. It's funny, man, to think about it, dude. Like, there's not a lot of stage time for high schoolers, I guess. And it was good to have that stage time. And now, I mean, gosh, I get on stage, all the time. But it's funny to think that's like one of the first times.
Like the whole reason for me doing plays in general is because I had a natural stage fright and kind of not necessarily social awkwardness.
You
but
I want a cupcake. Hold on 1 second. You want to go live or no?
No.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. That's awesome. All right. Yeah. Sorry about whatever you're telling me right now, but my kid made cupcakes.
No,
yeah.
That's love.
We are winning today, bro. You might have thought Jurassic World Dominion was stupid, and somehow we're talking about the play Grease from high school, but now I'm eating a cupcake because this podcast makes sense. All right. Morgan, tell me what you were telling me.
Video homie stories, I mean, it's like literally video homie stories. So,
These are stories about homies and videos.
If you want to vaguely hear about a movie, then tune in.
That's our trailer, man. That's our trailer for the podcast right now. That's dope, man. All right, this has sparkle frosting. I'm trying to show the camera the sparkle frosting.
I thought you were trying to give me a bite.
Yeah, here you go. Take a nom 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 nom. Dude, I love it. If somebody happens to be watching right, nom 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 nom. Here's another bite, and this bite's for you. All right, man. So, what were you? Sorry to interrupt you. What were you saying?
I don't even remember at this point, but that's okay.
Oh, great podcast.
I got a cat. Come here, cat. You're meowing. Get
All
over
right.
here.
Your cat's name is Olive.
Yeah.
Tell us about Olive.
She's a rescue, and like Bob Barker wanted, she's spayed.
Spayed and neutered. There you go. Or one or the other. Yeah. That's awesome. Here you go. Now the next part of this podcast. Here's the ASMR segment of me chewing.
Come here, Goober.
All right. Okay. Jurassic World Dominion. Jurassic franchise in general.
No, the first movie is the only one that's good. Then the fourth one, but that's 6 movies that didn't need 5 sequels.
Something I think is interesting about Jurassic World or Park, the whole franchise is like, I think every movie is like, I could watch any one of them, and they're enjoyable to watch pretty much for the most part. It's just like the plot is annoying to me. It's like what you said about Power Rangers on our Lost episode. It's like if you just have to totally just throw out logic, and
For sure.
it makes sense. Because I remember when I saw the third one when it came out, like Jurassic Park 3. I remember thinking I was like kind of let down, and I was a teenager or a kid or something. I was like, kind of let down. And then we watched all the Jurassic Parks with my kid when she became like a preteen or something. And Jurassic Park 3, I was like, this is better than I remembered. It's not a great movie, but I remember, I guess I was just let down, and this time I didn't really have much. Yeah.
You had the expectation of the first one, and then you had a lower expectation the second time.
Yeah, and it was not bad. Like that third movie is like, sure, it's got some plot problems, but it's not bad.
What Steven Spielberg did is he made an art movie about dinosaurs. What Universal Studios did is they were like, oh crap, kids love dinosaurs. So then they just went Jurassic Park everything. Jurassic Park toys, Jurassic Park sleeping bags. I still got a Jurassic Park sleeping bag.
Jurassic Park. I had toys. I had all that stuff. Yeah, the rides. You and I have ridden the ride before, or a couple of them.
And they're fun. And being in the thing, it's great. And there's a reason why that stuff takes off. But it's only because of the first movie that you can have all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just none of them are as good. And it's just wild to see. They're like, okay, we need, like Universal Studios is like, well, we need to keep our Jurassic Park ride alive. It's been up for 15 years, so we better make another one.
Better do something.
We own the property.
Heck yeah, man. We can't
let a die like the Jaws ride.
Exactly. Is the Jaws ride finally out of there? Is it finally gone?
Yeah, it's finally gone. It was so outdated when they did it, but it was fun.
Yeah. What about the King Kong ride? Is that still there?
Did we ride the King Kong ride? No,
bro. I never rode Jaws. I never rode Jaws. I never been on it.
Oh yeah, I rode everything in that park that they had. They didn't. The only 2 original rides that I rode were the ET ride and the Jaws ride.
Yeah.
Back to the Future was closed down to turn into the Simpsons ride, which is not a great ride. It's okay.
Hey, is that the same ride that's at Broadway at the beach in Myrtle Beach? There's an experience. Oh, is it?
Short films. So what they did is they started making short films. And then selling that. So for a Simpsons 3D experience, it's like 3 short Simpsons films that you can't see anywhere else, but you're paying $20 a pop.
Is it a ride at all, or you just sit in a theater chair?
You just sit there and at one point Maggie might come out and you might smell like baby powder, and you might it's like smell-o-vision type thing.
So that's the one that's at Broadway at the beach in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
And then the one that at Universal, I remember we got in a little cart and it put us up in the air like 20 feet, and there was like dome around us with a video, and it was just
Yeah, and that one was way cooler. You got actually put inside the baby's mouth, and it smelled like baby powder.
And it was wet or something. Like it'd be like water spraying on you or something. Yeah. I remember that one. Okay, so at Broadway the Beach in Myrtle Beach is something not as cool, but it still costs $20-some odd. That sounds about Myrtle Beach right there. It's not as cool. It's gonna cost.
Yeah, I got to see that all for free because I took video for the opening of it for an agency.
Oh, that's awesome, bro. That's really cool. All right, man. You know what I was thinking about for this pot for landing the plane. That's just a silly thing they say at corporate. Let's land the plane. I was like, bro, that's lame. Anyway, something I was thinking about. Let's figure out, you and me, of all the franchises, any Jurassic Park or World movie you've ever seen. Let you and I come up with the 7 gnarliest moments in the Jurassic Park franchise. So,
number one has to be the lawyer getting eaten while he's in the bathroom stall on the toilet, right?
okay, first film, the shiesty guy, hom nom nom on the first one.
Yeah.
All right, so nom nom in first one. You know what? I was gonna write these down, but I'm not gonna write them down. I'll write them down and I'll watch them later. All right, so first one, and you know what? These don't have to be in order. We can figure out the order later, but right now, just 7 moments. So right now, we're gonna say the lawyer get eaten is a gnarly one.
The thing with the spitting them in the face.
Yeah. Also in the first one.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson's arm just hanging there.
Just arm. Yo, I saw this thing. They did a thing where it was like they had another. The script called for more Sam Jackson, but he had a conflict or he had already left the movie or something. They ran out of for some reason he couldn't be there anymore, so they wrote it differently and just put his arm in. That's why you never see him anymore in that movie.
Okay.
It was I saw something like that. All right, so Sam Jackson's arm. These are all from the first one. Is there any gnarly moment in that we remember from any of the other ones?
Not really. Okay, in the last one, World Dominion, they had a 3-way dinosaur fight, and then one of the dinosaurs pushed another dinosaur into the dinosaur with knife hands.
Yeah.
And stabbed him through his body.
Yeah.
I was like, I won't necessarily say it's gnarly, but I was like, okay, you did that.
All right, I love it. They did that. They Edward Scissorhand the dinosaur. I love it. That was also the ending. That ending on Jurassic World Dominion is basically the same way they killed the bad dinosaur in Jurassic World. So Jurassic World 4 is like a couple dinosaurs teamed up and they threw it into the big dinosaur, the water dinosaur, to eat.
Well, also they regurgitated so in the first one, dinosaurs aren't supposed to be able to lay eggs.
Yeah.
And then in the fourth one, the raptor had a baby. So in both of the movies, they're trying to capture the baby. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man.
That's the same stuff. Hey, you know what? I realized I didn't do this thing. I was going to record this so I wouldn't have to do it later. And I forgot to start recording.
On what?
We're going live, but I was trying to have a more crisp video of it without having to screen record it. And I didn't do that. So I'm going to start recording. And let's do this gnarliest moments bit again. You mind doing the gnarliest moments bit again?
You're fine, dude.
All right. Gnarliest moments from the whole Jurassic World franchise. Morgan, what's a gnarly moment?
Well, the number one is the lawyer on the toilet in the bathroom stall.
Just nom nom nom. That's poop on poop. That's poop taking a poop.
And then when the thing spits in the chubby dude's face.
Yeah.
From Seinfeld.
You know what? I don't speak Raptor that much, but I think I know what that spit meant. I think I can translate. You know what he was saying?
What?
Newman. All right. What's the next one?
Oh, well, we were talking about Jurassic World Dominion. It wasn't necessarily gnarly, but I was just like, okay. But they had 3 dinosaurs fighting, and then one dinosaur pushed another dinosaur into another dinosaur who had knives for hands and killed the dinosaur that way.
That sounds like a Michael Bay plot. All right, here we go. Let's go.
Let's go.
We're gonna do. You know what's funny? I'm dying. Hold on a second. It's gonna be the Morgan show right now. I got sinuses and I'm trying to make and I got all my snot in the wrong places. Oh man. But anyway, yeah. They're like, all right, let's figure this out. Okay, let's say a dinosaur. He's got scissor hands. He's like Edward Scissorhands, but he's a dinosaur. And he's a guy, he beats him, you know.
It's either that or somebody brought in, they're like, okay, I brought in my 8-year-old son Billy. What dinosaur do you want to see kill another dinosaur, Billy?
And Billy's like, can he have scissor hands?
This one and this one, I think it would be cool.
Yeah. That'd be awesome to recreate the Jurassic Park movies, but just have somebody doing dinosaurs. But keep the sound effects.
I think that's how they wrote the plot for the last 4 movies.
Yeah. That's exactly how they do it. Oh my gosh. Oh man! All right, what's another gnarly moment? Let's see, gnarly. Let me try to remember.
We were talking about the third one earlier, and I was talking about just dinosaurs. the third one's the one that brought in pterodactyls. So as soon as they had pterodactyls,
yeah.
straight up taking out a parasailer,
Bro.
dude, could you imagine?
Oh man, heck no, man. Them dinosaurs, them pterodactyls were vicious in number 3, man.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the third one.
My
Pterodactyls.
pterodactyl story is we were did you see Tom Green at the comedy club with me?
No, I didn't.
All right, so we went to this. I think me and Joe maybe or something. But we went to see Tom Green at Carolina Comedy Club back in the day. It was Stand Up Carolina. He was doing stand up comedy, and there was a woman who just like kept screeching in the show. There's like just an audience member. She's like, ee! And one time she was a real loud screech. Like I don't know if she was just trying to be a part of the show, if she was laughing or something. She's like, ah! And Tom Green just like, yeah, my favorite part of the show is when it gets interrupted by a pterodactyl. What the or whatever. And I remember thinking that was hilarious, and I probably used that line before too. But just
definitely.
like, who let the pterodactyl in? You know, but
Absolutely.
all right. And then what's some other gnarly
the T-Rex coming into I think they brought the T-Rex to LA in the second one, or
Yeah.
San Diego.
I remember this gnarly moment from that part, but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
When he ate the dog.
Oh, there you go then. There's the moment. I was just going to say when he got off the ship and stuff.
Oh yeah, but you know, in there the scene where the chain is hanging.
You're right.
Gosh, man. That's how Jurassic Park was trying to make white people mad. They're trying to eat dogs.
Yeah. Going back to the first one.
Sam Jackson's arm we talked about.
Yeah, but going on the first one when they're getting shocked on the fence and the dude just gets blasted.
Oh, heck yeah.
That thing, like, oof.
Yep.
Like they had, I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool.
I think it's cool.
You know what? From Lost Kingdom, from the Lost World, Jurassic Park Lost World.
Yeah.
The kids are in like those little bubble things.
Yeah.
Then they go into the water and all that stuff, man. Those water dinosaurs ain't nothing to mess with.
No, bro. Them water dinosaurs they ain't playing, man. You know what would have been great? I wish they'd have had some synchronized swimmers with the water dinosaurs like they do at SeaWorld. And just been like, we train these dinosaurs well. I don't know. Yeah. The coldest moment, though. This is our new segment. It's called The Coldest Moment. Let's do this. The coldest moment that I think from the whole Jurassic World franchise, and it'll get me tearing up right now, dude. If in number 5, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, when they are leaving the little dinosaur island, and it's all burning up behind them, and there's the Brontosaurus and the other stuff, and
yeah,
it's
so messed up.
It was just sad, and I'm like, oh man, I don't like these dinosaurs killing people, but at the same time, it was sad to watch them all burn up like
when
that.
All people are trying to escape, and the Jurassic Park, the fourth one with the new reboot one. They're all running, and all those things are coming at them. That was gnarly because everything was breaking and all the
Yes.
And they had like cell phone footage. It was like people were taking.
People are. That's how it is, man. Like somebody's gonna get hurt in public. No one's running after.
Like I'm filming this.
Yeah. Someone's like, I'm about to go viral.
I got it up here. I remember it. I don't need to.
I ain't got to relive this trauma, bro.
Yeah. Anytime I met a celebrity, I don't need a picture or anything like that because I'm like, I have one of these. What are you talking about?
I got a little mind. I got a little brain up in here. All right, let's try to think of something fun from this movie. All right, man, how about this? What's final thoughts on, how about this? What's about the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park franchise as a total? How many VHS tapes would you give it? And then we could do the same thing for the last movie.
Oh, the franchise overall? The first one gets 5, obviously. But I'd say overall probably 3.
I'm gonna go with that. I might do 3.5, 3.5 maybe for me. 3.5. I'm gonna do 3. I'm gonna do 3 HSs and a JP Jeep, a used Jurassic Park Jeep toy is what I'm gonna throw in on this one.
3 VHSs and a pack of Twizzlers.
And a pack of JP Twizzlers. There you go, man. I'm gonna do 3 VHSs and a cosplay Jeep. That dude, I tell you what, I ain't never been in a city where I did not see at least one cosplay.
Oh, of course, they're perfect.
Jeeps, yeah, man.
I know, man.
Really
I
dope.
think I probably paid somebody $5 to sit in one before.
Oh, I feel like you probably said that about a few different things before, Morgan. That's probably something.
The Back to the Future vehicle? Yeah.
The DeLorean. We saw last time I saw a DeLorean was in Times Square. It's so funny. We were in Times Square a couple years ago, and or last year. No, it's like a year ago. We were walking through Times Square, and Times Square, all the lights, everything's happening, and on the side behind a barricade is this DeLorean, and there's no one there. Like, that's the thing about Times Square. Like, no one cares that there's a full-on DeLorean, doors wide open. It's got all the lights flashing. You can see the flux capacitor inside, but it's in the middle of Times Square at nighttime. Well, it's, right at Times Square on nighttime, and people just walking by. Like, no one stops. I stopped and looked at it. I was like, this is dope, because, I mean, I've seen them up close before, because a lot of cities have DeLoreans, too, like in parades or, cons and stuff, but
it's weird how, like, in major cities, nobody gives a shit really what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, because I heard something the other day. It was like me and you were in a car together. I'm hungry. I'm looking for restaurants. You hear a rumble in the engine. You're looking for mechanic shops. We're living in two different universes right now.
Yeah.
And so, like, whenever I was in LA, I would see people walking by stuff, and I would see an opportunity, and be like, oh man, what's this? Like, because I don't know if anybody knows this, where they hold the Academy Awards, it's a mall. It's an outside mall, and there's a movie theater next to it, and that's where they hold it, and it smells like pee. Just nobody tells you that. It does. Angelina Jolie, everyone on the red carpet,
they smelling that pee, baby.
Yeah, it's homeless person city. But I walk down these stairs.
Y'all having a war show to my bathroom. Yeah. I'm trying to go to the bathroom. We talking about don't push me out. This is where I live.
But I was in this shopping mall. My roommate, we walked down the steps, and we're on a red carpet. There's only one little thin barrier right there that but everything should have been closed off, wasn't closed off, and we were like, okay, so we're on like E in the background.
Oh, really?
Red carpet.
That's awesome. I remember that time that I've only been to LA.
Everyone else is walking by.
Yeah.
Everyone else is ignoring it. We're like,
that's crazy. So for this story, so I understand better. You and your roommate are there, and then like people just kept walking, but you're like, wait a minute, there's TV cameras. This is the Academy Awards. You started waving.
Yeah. No,
but no one else could.
Awards. What this was the Terminator Salvation premiere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It wasn't the biggest premiere.
Is Salvation the one with Batman in it with Christian Bale?
Yeah, Christian Bale.
Okay, yeah.
And Antoine Yelkin were all rest in peace. We're all like standing right there, just talking, and there's a camera pointed straight at me and my roommate.
You're like,
no, pretty much, but then we got asked to leave.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was after the segment ended.
Yeah.
So,
all of my LA stories involve you because I only been there with you. And so I remember one of my favorite ones is we were walking real late that night. It was you, me, I think your roommate or something. And we're walking late, and we're walking to Hollywood. I don't know where we're at, but we're walking up, and it's real late at night. It's like 2 a.m, 3 or something maybe. And there's some people setting stuff up, and it just I'm just walking down the street side like a sidewalk. I don't know what's happening. I'm walking this thing, and I'm like, I see scaffolding and stuff, but it's dark. It's not a lot of people out, and I just asked the guy, I'm like, what's happening here? What are y'all setting up? And he just stared at me. He's like, the Academy Awards. Like, what do you we walked up to the Chinese Man's Theater. I didn't know that's where we were because that part of Hollywood or whatever.
We were walking on the Hollywood Walk of Fame so we could look at stars.
And I didn't realize that's where we were. Like, I just was like, what is this? And because Iron Man 3 hadn't come out, I mean, honestly, so I haven't seen an up close.
I'd seen all this stuff, I mean, I'd seen so many movies about Hollywood that, like, as soon as I got there, I was like, well, let me go. And then I had friends that had already been there for a year and a half. So
yeah.
It's a different world out there, and this world should never be so dense where we're living on top of each other like that.
Oh, no, it's pretty heavy.
I don't think so, man. It's for some people, it's not for me.
Well, a lot of people out there nowadays, man, they're technically homeless, but a lot of people live in vans. Like, they live in their own. They find a parking spot and they van life it. And a lot of people in the industry, like in the LA and in the movie industry, that's what they do.
It's pretty wild.
That's crazy,
I've heard
man.
all kinds of stories. There's guys that would take vans and then flip them and turn them into mini trailers, and so they could be a mini trailer on a movie set.
Yeah.
And that's what those guys did for a living.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Different times, different worlds.
All right, man. So landing this plane here. So we talked about all that stuff, but one thing we talked about was 5 VHSs.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Yep.
Don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
Just don't. We're looking out for you. If you haven't seen the movie, you're not missing anything. If you do have to watch the movie, like you're just watching the franchise, you want to complete it, my suggestion, Sterl's suggestion is to watch the extended version because it's slightly better. So there you go.
My suggestion is don't watch this one. If you love Jurassic Park, just watch the first one again.
Just keep watching that first one. That's all you need.
Just watch it once a year. Scratch that itch.
There you go.
It's just as good as you remembered.
All right, Morgan. Tell me. Yeah. All right.
No good music in Dominion. No. Na.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I mean, not quite like the first.
Not as
one.
epic. Yeah. Absolutely. Morgan, man. Tell me thoughts to live by. What's something we should live by?
Oh, be kind, man. Be good to each other.
Be kind, rewind, and no more late fees.
That's right. Not since 2001, baby.
That's it. All right, give it up for Morgan, everybody. My podcast co-host. Give it up for Morgan, comedian Morgan Nienaber.
Man, I appreciate you, buddy.
And everybody here, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see my stand-up comedy clips, definitely you can check them out on this channel. You can also watch funny shorts every single day. Thank you for watching. And click. Oh, I haven't put any video titles up here. Click somewhere. I don't know. If you see an end card, please click on it and keep cackling.
They'll be around.
Somewhere. Bye, you guys.